Welcome to ECD. Today we're going to show you through a little bit of what we do here. We're also going to introduce you today to our latest product addition, which is as we call it, the RRC, but it's the Range Rover Classic.
You feel like you could just cruise for hours in this thing already, as it is. When we're finished, it is going to be the kind of vehicle you can do anything with. We're having a bit of a debate at the minute with the style of our first one. With the first one we do, by the way, we're going to build it to our spec, so what we kind of envisage it being. So there's a bit of a fierce debate going on in the office at the minute between myself, my brother Elliot, and Scott weighs in occasionally to kind of calm us down.
So when the Humble brothers and I decided we were going to take ECD to the next level, that involves some immense and significant changes to production within ECD as the business stood then. We used to subcontract a lot of our work back in the day, and we were never comfortable with that. It frustrated us. And we were just passionate about building really good custom trucks. And unfortunately, when you subcontract the ownership of that to people, they don't seem to hit it with the same passion that we did. So our biggest challenge in the last 3 years was to get a culture, if you like, in the business, a collective combined culture between what Tom, Elliot and I wanted to get into the business, but more importantly, get that culture through the guys that were building the trucks. We don't work hands-on on the trucks. We employ a team of professionals to do that. But it isn't just about skill alignment. It's got to be about a cultural alignment, that they understand what we're trying to do with the business, so that we can then create consistencies. So the last 3 years has really been getting consistency, process, measurements, accountability, culture within ECD. We knew kind of halfway through that process that we were kind of going to get a little bit bored, because our energy levels for Tom, Elliot and I are kind of off the scale, and we get up each day wanting to take the business to the next level. The evolution of the brand of ECD naturally became about how do we add another product to the range. The ECD Custom 90 builds, the ECD Custom 110 builds. Then we introduced UVC Ultimate Vehicle Concept with Project Viper. But we always knew that we wanted to get another product in the range, and it seemed like the natural progression of the business. It seemed like our clients and our fan base was ready for a new product. So we discussed a number of options, and I think collectively between us all, we always had a love for the Range Rover Classic. So it just seemed like a natural fit for the business to move towards the Range Rover.
We're going to start with a 95, so we're going to go with the long wheelbase soft dash. I think it was a favourite of most at the time, the soft dash when it came out. It just felt a lot more modern, but still kind of reflected the classic design.
We'll be looking to retain a lot of this dash, but we'll be looking to recover it, retrim it, and make it feel and to the touch much more premium. One of our main plans is to bring the car to the 21st century, but also keep the classic and heritage feel. One of our main focuses will be on the seating. We do plan on keeping the original seating in the vehicle. We will take it out, take it to pieces, redo the metalwork, reupholster the seats, and then we will trim them to spec to suit the client's needs. And like I said before, that'll get the normal ECD treatment. So we'll be working with premium leathers, premium stitch, premium patterns. Pretty much whatever the customer wants, we'll get it pretty much perfect to their taste.
our plan is to build and finish our first Range Rover Classic, and then I think we're going to do a bit of a tour in it. I think we'll take it out to LA, to Malibu, where we've got our new store, our new design studio. So clients are going to be welcome to come along to the studio, see the truck there, see the design process, and then we'll go out some test drives in it. And that's going to be pretty fun, actually, launching it at our new showroom out in Malibu. Really excited about that, as you can tell by my face.
Every great decision we've made in East Coast Defender has been kind of reactive decisions where we just know in our heart and heads, collectively between Tom, Elliot and I, that it's the right thing to do. And it's never failed us, that instinctive kind of gut feel. So moving to bring the Range Rover Classic onto the ECD line was one of those feelings where we just thought, this is the natural thing to do with a business. It's the natural evolution of what to do with a business. It's a product that we think the market is looking for. And more importantly, we have rehearsed this and rehearsed it and rehearsed it with all the ECD Defenders that we've built. The integration of the GM drivetrains, integration of bringing upholstery in-house, bringing the paint facility in-house. Every aspect of building the new products and the Range Rover Classic has been rehearsed in our ECD Defender range. So we are ready for this now.
We will rework this whole center console. We'll work in some high-end audio kit. We'll most likely be running a Sony in-car entertainment system in the center, and that'll give us Android Connect, Apple CarPlay, phone mirror into the screen. We'll also be running wireless charging in the car. We'll sync in some big cup holders instead of these tiny little things that you can see here. And we'll be turning this, giving it the ECD treatment and turning it into just a modern, usable, everyday car.
Design-wise, our clients are going to go through a similar journey as they do with the Defender at the moment. They'll work with Richard, our lead designer at the shop, and he'll create renderings, mock-ups, and go through the kind of palette that we're going to use on the Classic. There will still be a lot of options available, but you know, we always want to keep the heritage in mind when we're building this. You know, it was built to be a luxury daily driver back in the 80s. This was kind of the pinnacle, really, of what was available, especially in the UK, the English market. The
vehicles came as standard with a 3.9 or a 4.2 Rover V8. So this was a good engine back in the 70s and 80s, not so good anymore. So one of our first priorities on these builds is to pull the old Rover engine out and get rid of it and give it something more reliable. At the moment we have two LS options, well, LS based options. We have the LS3, which is a 430 horsepower V8, or we also have the LC9, which is a 5.3, and that's a 330 horsepower motor. Both of the motors can be paired up to automatic transmissions or manual if you decide. We normally often go with the 6-speed auto, as it's a better cruising transmission, gives you lower revs, higher speeds. But both engine options come with a 2-year 50,000 mile warranty from Chevrolet, as well as the car being warranted for a year by East Coast.
I think, you know, we're going to be looking at a 0-60. It's going to be under 6 seconds, probably late 5s, which is pretty nice for a big, comfortable family vehicle. And it's going to be one of them things, you know, it looks like if you're pulled next to it at the traffic lights, you're going to look over at it and think, that's probably not going to do 0-60 in less than 15 seconds. But, you know, then we put our foot down and away we go.
We have now set an expectation collectively between everybody in ECD that when we put a product like this into the production facility, there's a very clear and measurable expectation of what we want to achieve in terms of quality, innovation, and we have got high levels of accountability across our team that this isn't something we approach half-heartedly, and that it's a product that we're only going to put our name on if we can deliver it.
The beauty of the Range Rover Classic is, you know, it's built for comfort and luxury, and that's exactly what we're going to stick to. We want this to be a smooth ride that people can get in with all their family, and it's not going to be any different to they're not going to have to make sacrifices, is what I'm trying to say, in order to drive a 25-year-old vehicle. We want to make it so it's as comfy as jumping in your brand new Range Rover, but you've certainly got a different look and feel to the vehicle, and you're not going to see 15 of yourself at the carpool at your kid's school, or pulling up at Whole Foods at the valet. This is certainly one that's going to stand out.
What I did want to show you was the amount of space in the back of this vehicle. So as I said before, this is the long wheelbase version, which gives about an extra 8 inches on the car. But the place you really get the benefit of that is in this middle row. So this is plenty big enough for 2 adults to sit back here in comfort, which is pretty unusual for even new Range Rovers. But it does make a huge difference to the car. The headliners, as you can see, are pretty saggy. This is pretty standard on any old Land Rover. All of that will be taken out and replaced with new. We do retrim them ourselves in-house as well on the new trim, and just to tie the whole interior in with the overall scheme of the car.
We're going to pick a colour range that kind of reflects the factory feel, so we're probably going to have a range of about 10 colours and 5 or 6 different interiors that we're going to go with on this vehicle.
The old leathers inside here, they're in good condition. It's looking pretty old in here. So one of our sort of standard things that we do to these older vehicles is just make them feel more modern and give them a more premium touch and finish.
I think that, you know, everybody seems to be trying to follow what ECD are doing in our current product range, and nobody's really finding their own niche in developing a different product to meet the line. So we want to be ahead of that. So I think we've got another differentiated product, just like we did when we did the ECD Defender builds, where we took them ground up compared to just doing lipstick on them like some of the other people in the industry. So I think, in summary, that the last 3 years have been a great stage for us to rehearse and prepare and create a culture to bring in an additional product to our line. I think Tom, Elliot and I now are comfortable that it's not going to become a distraction. And if it was a distraction, it would mean we do it half-heartedly. We don't want to do it half-heartedly. We don't do anything half-assed. We do it and do it right. And I think that we now believe, with the learning of the last 3 years, we can bring in the Range Rover Classic and not just do it good, but do it great. And I think that when we get the first truck into production, on some of the innovations we're talking about and some of the custom work we're looking within it, I think we're going to end up with a really cool product, and something that is worthy of the ECD name, and something that is worthy of the demand, you know, something that meets, the demands that our client base and fan base put on our product. So I think we're ready. I think it's exciting times, and I think we're going to deliver something really cool, and I think it will look phenomenal sitting in our new Malibu location, and I hope California's ready for it, because it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a really cool truck. It'll be a really unique SUV, and I think we're going to shake things up a bit. So watch out. ECD's Range Rover Classic is coming to you soon.
Hey guys, thanks for taking the time to watch our video, learn a little bit more about the guys here at ECD and all the projects that we do, especially about the RRC. I would advise stay tuned and see what else comes out of this awesome shop. Thanks.